And a big welcome back to Everyman Driver. I'm Dave Erickson. Thanks so much for watching. I am so excited to share with you the 2016, the all-new from the ground up Honda Civic. I know a lot of you have already seen my just arrived video where I did a little walk around with it. I showed a lot more details than I thought I would, but I was so excited about it, and this car has so much to offer. Great new design. If you've seen these LED headlights and tail lights, all redesigned. This car is longer, wider, so much more space inside, as well as the cargo volume area. And they've got the great display in the center stack with the Apple CarPlay and the Android Auto. So I'm gonna put a lot of this information on everymandriver.com, which by the way now offers articles in Spanish. But today I'm gonna give you some of my favorite points to this car, plus go over the engine and performance, the Apple CarPlay, of course, a little demo there, real world legroom and headroom, what's under the hood, all that great stuff, cargo volume demo and everything. So let's go ahead and get started right now. All right, let's pop the hood. Let's keep it real. Let's do this, open this up. Damn! All right, we have on the lowest two trim levels of the Civic for 2016, we have a 2-liter 4-cylinder that pumps out 158 horses, 138 pound-feet of torque. Not bad, but if you wanna raise the bar a little bit, you can go for this one right here, the 1.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. 174 horses, 162 pound-feet of torque. I think you'll really appreciate the smoothness and yet power behind the 1.5-liter turbocharged engine. Really nice, smooth acceleration, holds its RPMs well. It has a sport mode, which I've practiced in, and I'll give you a little demo here in a little bit, and it makes a big difference. I'm starting off in drive, pop it into the S, boom, there's a nice little pump to it. So we're gonna show you that here in a little bit. As far as fuel economy numbers, let's go inside, because in the center stack, they have a great display that kind of breaks it down by your drive and the history of the drives. And I've got some good numbers from what I've been doing this week, almost 200 miles, as well as when they drove it over here from Seattle. Here's our key fob, but we'll go ahead and use the push button start to fire it up. Now this vehicle is rated at 31 city, 41 on the highway. And I have a nice little option here on the screen. I'll hit the home button. It's going to take me to some options. Oops, where was I? Info, trip counter. Now here's the history. My current drive, 198.9 miles, so right there, about 200 miles. I've been averaging 27.7 miles per gallon. I have done a lot of in-city driving, so I think that number could be better if I was on the highway a bit more, but for more realistic numbers, this second previous drive right here, 256 miles, this is when they drove it over from Seattle. They averaged 32 miles per gallon. Still well below that 42 projected in this turbo. So a little bit of a surprise there, but you know, I guess if you're gonna say you're gonna be in the mid-30s for a mixed driving number, I wanna see some higher 30s. But so far in our experience this week, we're getting 27.6, and that has been mostly city, so still below the 31 projected. Exterior wise, this Civic really stands out. Almost unrecognizable, but still of course has the Honda DNA. Check out the LED headlights there, kind of Acura-ish. Nice front fascia there. Fog lights, obviously, we're rolling on 17-inch wheels, 16 or 17, you can get those. Check out the back end here. Nice sweeping tail lights there. That's really sharp looking, isn't it? It's a different look altogether as you're looking here, at least at the tail end. Stylish, athletic, really good looking car. Of course, you have the turn signal indicators right there, and on this side you still have the Honda lane watch, so you have that camera right there, so when you hit the turn signal, this camera activates, and in the center stack area this whole screen lights up so you can see what's over here in the camera view. Makes it really nice for visual. And of course you do have a backup camera right there as well. So there are a couple of ways to open the trunk lid of the new Civic. There's a button inside the car. There's one here on the key fob, a lot of different options here on the key fob. There's also one just below the Honda icon right there. So we'll press that one, open it up. Now you're gonna have a lot of cargo space with this new Civic. I think it's almost 2 cubic feet larger than the outgoing, 15.1 to be exact, of cubic feet of cargo room in the back of the Civic. Pretty darn good, don't you think? Below here, you do have your spare tire and jack kit, and these seats do fold down. You pull these levers right here, and you can fold down the seats, which are a 60-40 split, and increase your cargo volume by quite a bit. Now, here's a photo I took last week when I was doing some loading back and forth. 14 baskets. These are like locker room baskets from back in the day, full of yarn. They all belong to Melissa. Can you believe it? 14 baskets were able to fit in the back of the Civic. So that kind of gives you an idea, just behind the back row seats, how much room and how much stuff you can put back there. So pretty impressive. I like it. Big thumbs up. So here's a look at your real-world backseat legroom and headroom from a guy who is 5'11". Look how far I'm leaning back in this seat. This is incredible. This is great. Nice little indent in the back of the seat, just a little bit here with this different type of leather stitching. So no container back here for magazines or anything like that, but look how much room. There to there, I'm 5'11", got plenty of space. Compact sedan, a Civic. I don't think you would experience this in previous Civics. This one really has raised the bar quite a bit. Headroom, wow, it's a little bit close to being a concern, but I'm okay with it so far. Let's go a little bit higher. Wow. Right there on the edge. You can't be perfect, right? No one can be perfect. One thing that you won't find in a lot of cars, at least at this price point or with this type of this class, heated back seats. Something I didn't talk about in my Just Arrived video, but heated back seats as well as the front seat. So, hey, you're going to stay warm throughout the car no matter what. And on a day like this, kind of cold and rainy, we've been in temperatures in the upper 30s, low 40s. I like to have a warm bum, if you know what I mean. Okay, fold down armrest, pair of cup holders right here. The seat, 60-40 split, soft seats. I know I have the touring trim level, but these seats are soft. Normally, if I'm sitting in this middle spot right here, I have a harder plastic middle. They say it's a 5-passenger compact sedan. I can actually see that in this car compared to previous times. So, yeah, nice work right there. And you have 4 blank handles all the way around. And with our touring trim level, we have a sliding sunroof. So, creating that illusion of more space. Pretty comfortable place to be. Man, I'm sold. I really am sold. I'm trying to be as balanced as possible, but this car has a lot of upsides. I'm so excited to show you this new center stack display and layout. If you remember, this was quite different from last model. They had a weird set of screens that were up here as well as here. We're going to talk about this right now and focus on what new technology they have available. Obviously, this one has navigation, so you can see where we are on the map. That's our current location. I'm going to go back with that button there one more time. I already showed you the info for fuel economy numbers as one of the examples before. So there's that. There's voice information. One really neat thing about this, it's a screen that you can scroll back and forth with, and I'll show you that here with the phone settings. This is where you can set up your Bluetooth and connect your phone with that. We're going to go ahead and go yes. But here's the fun part. It's not connected right now because you'll see in a second. Back. I'm going to use my plug-in here and plug in my iPhone. Now watch what happens. It's going to read my phone on this screen.
Back with transit police.
So they got Apple CarPlay right here. I have a podcast going on right now, by the way. So I'm going to go to Apple CarPlay and watch what it does. It picks up on what you have on your phone. I have a Verizon Wireless, so I have really good signal, so you'll be able to see a lot of what I have on here. So there's a podcast. These are the podcasts that I have on my phone right now. I'll go all the way back. Podcast. My podcasts. Now, Endurance Hour, 2 Schools of Thought, Everyman Driver Car Show. What? Let It Shine, the Gary V Show, little insight into my psyche, Dan Patrick Show, Ben Greenfield Fitness. Anyways, let's go ahead and have fun now. Everyman Driver Car Show. So if I'm driving around, I can use my display here versus my phone, so it's safer. I'll press on. This is from earlier this week, episode 79. Now listen.
All right.
That's a little goofy.
Driver Car Show back online, episode 79er. One away.
Okay, so anyways, you can kind of see that you can listen to what's on your phone by plugging this in for the Apple CarPlay. Now, if you have an Android phone, they have something called Android Auto, very similar. So I really like this because let's say you're in your home screen. Let's see, I'll go to menu, Apple CarPlay. Let's go back. You got this Honda option here, so you can all the different things with the Honda Link, AHA. Go back to CarPlay. I like this one a lot. So the phone settings, I can call someone from my phone. Let's say, for example, I think Melissa was the last person in my contacts.
Who would you like to call?
Call Melissa Erickson.
Calling Melissa Erickson.
All right, we'll stop that. We don't need to call her right now. Maps, audiobooks. I have audiobooks on my phone, so you can see them right here because it's connected. Pandora, Spotify, Stitcher, Audible. So I want to listen to a book while I'm driving. Don't have to worry about my phone. Just plug my phone in. It's going to charge, and it's going to let me have access to the applications on my phone. I have some, but I'm not synced up right now. So you go, pretty good. Even messaging. This is cool. I was driving around.
To whom?
I'm going to show my messages. Melissa had sent me a message earlier today, and it reads it for you.
Go ahead.
Hey, Melissa, what time is dinner tonight?
Your message to Melissa says, "Hey Melissa, what time is dinner tonight?" Ready to send it?
And I can verbally say send, and it'll do that for us. Isn't that pretty cool? Right here, this is a piece of technology inside, a car wrapped around a piece of technology. That's one way to look at it. So I really love this Apple CarPlay smart technology, and it makes the driving experience more fun. I look forward to driving in the car because I can plug my phone in and really enjoy what I have on my phone. There you go. All right, let's go ahead and go for a spin here and talk about the ride and handling so far during my week. Put her in drive. Let's go. I'll leave that closed. Yeah, we've had some really crazy weather here in the inland Northwest, which is to say the eastern part of Washington State. We had a wind advisory, we've had snow, we've had rain. It's craziness here, and just lucky to be able to do this today. All right, I'm just gonna, this is the fun part about this turbo. I'm in drive right now. Accelerate, I'm gonna pop it into S. Oh, automatically, there goes the revving. Beautiful. Holds it nicely, around 3,000 RPM, so smooth. This, by the way, I didn't talk about this earlier, I'm surprised I didn't. CVT in this. Otherwise, you're looking at a 6-speed manual or CVT as an option on the lower trim levels. The higher up you get, it's just CVT, which it doesn't get in the way. I'm okay with it. I don't even notice it being a problem. Some people want to have the 6-speed automatic transmissions. CVT spools up smoothly, holds it, and with this turbocharged 4-cylinder, the 1.5 liter, it's good. It's very good. Comfort-wise, these seats are pretty darn comfortable. Not a whole bunch of bolstering around the side, but you know, we have the top trim level. It is comfortable with the leather here, leather wrap steering wheel, shift knob, and technology, of course, all over the place. And you know, the instrument cluster layout is a lot nicer than the outgoing model for sure. And it's got a bit of a slanting away from you. The center of the instrument cluster completely digital, and then you have it's still digital on the outsides with the fuel gauge and also the oil temperature, but it's got a nice look to it, a nice combination of both, and a lot of great information. And I talked about this with my Just Arrived video. The steering wheel mounted controls, not your usual suspects, because we have this audio dial here. Not even a dial, it's more of a pad that you swipe your finger up and down to turn up the audio, turn it down. It's brilliant. I like it. Everything is touchscreen these days. Even with the screen here, you can slide between screens with your finger, which should be standard nowadays, in my opinion. We've got the lane watch, the lane keeping assist system, adaptive cruise control. I talked about the lane watch here on the right-hand side, so I hit the signal, and there pops up a screen that shows that camera angle, a brake mitigation, so if you're getting too close to another car in front of you, if you're coming up to them and you haven't hit the brake yet, a brake will flash up on the screen letting you know there's an imminent crash coming to you. And I've noticed it just by going real slow, and the car in front of me is stopped at a stoplight, and it goes off. Okay, ride and handling, it's what we're talking about now. Very solid. You know, this car weighs less than 3,000 pounds. They've made it bigger, wider, more space inside, so it feels more planted. People will say that. It does feel that way too. I mean, front wheel drive, handles real nice around the corners. It feels bigger than it is. I mean, yeah, it's bigger than the outgoing model, obviously, but it feels like, I kind of forget what car I'm in. Honestly, I forget what car I'm driving, thinking, this is a Civic? Oh my gosh, this is, you know, along the lines of the Acuras or the Honda Accords. So, I don't know, one day maybe this will replace what people would say. These cars at this point can almost mold into one RoboCop of an Accord, because they're getting closer. At least the Civic has raised its game quite a bit. Honda continues to raise the Accord continues to raise its game too. But with the Civic continuing making these improvements as it is this year, wow! Good thing they're not in competition with each other. Otherwise, I wouldn't know which one to pick. Probably the Accord. But just to let you know how much the Civic has built up in this 10th generation. Finally, they've got a contender here that I'm sure will win some awards. Road noise hasn't been a problem. I know people will ask about that. Space-wise, you've got both are electric seat. You can adjustable on both sides. This was not manual. This is adjustable on both sides on the side of the seat, so that's good. I don't know. This is just I wish I could find a fault at it. Maybe the only fault would be the headroom in the back, just a little bit based on my height. Otherwise, I don't know. It's not a slam dunk, but they're going to kill it with this car. I really do believe it. And I would, depends on what your price restrictions are, I would definitely look at this one and then maybe move up to the Honda Accord if you want to stay inside the Honda family and you like a sedan for your vehicle. This would definitely be a strong contender and economically very smart. So the MSRP range here on the all-new 2016 Honda Civic is under $19,000 up to $26,500. Our tester here is the touring trim level, so the top trim level. And I tell you what, dollar for dollar, pound for pound, this is one of the best vehicles you're going to find in the compact sedan category. Competition beyond notice. If you haven't already, this car is the one to watch. 10th generation Honda Civic. It is absolutely worth a look and most certainly 100% worth a test drive. Until next time, I'm Dave Erickson with Everyman Driver. Thanks so much for watching. By the way, please visit everymandriver.com. We now feature articles in Spanish. Adios.